Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to Riding on Ruby. Well, today I was hoping to get out there and start painting the outside of the house, the first floor, painting it white. And then all of a sudden on the news, we get a little weather warning for early this afternoon for some severe storms going through with heavy winds and hail. So I guess I'm not going to be painting today. So I figured I'd take Ruby out for a little bit of a ride. And since I'm going to be out here, I thought maybe I'll do a little 5-year review on the ownership of in riding on Ruby. So first I want to give a shout out to Hippie Trev in Australia. Trev, I can feel your pain. Here in this town, we have to pay the car and the bike tax, which they consider the vehicle taxes once a year. So that was like $400 between the two. But on the property tax on the house, we pay that, or I at least pay it quarterly. So mine went up about $200 per quarter. So that's nothing like $1,000 like they whacked you with. But I'm hoping that's all going to work out for you. And for Sandy as well. And another shout out too to Red Rider Angel. I hope you and Bill are doing well. Maybe you could put up a little short or something saying that, how things are going and, you guys are all right and everything. That'd be nice. But, I'm praying for you to be everything good. So we'll see you in the next video, I guess, that you put out. All right, people. And I have a bunch of other people in my descriptions, channels you should go check out. Because like I always say, they're a lot better than mine and more interesting. I'll make this video and I'll probably get maybe 50 views if I'm lucky, But hey, that's not why I'm making these videos. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm not trying to be monetized and make money. I just want to be out there hanging with all you cool people out there and to let people know about this 500. Now, hopefully the GoPro's gonna behave. So anyways, I'll put at the end of this video, I'll put out a video link for why I actually bought Ruby. But I'll tell you, you can watch that. It was the first video I ever made for YouTube. It was in my house on my webcam on my crappy Chromebook. But I'll tell the whole story about why I initially bought Ruby and what I really wanted to get. But I'll tell you, I could not be any happier with this 500. I mean, it does everything I need it to do. I don't plan on going any big iron butt rides, because of I have a bad disc in my back. Hold on, let me negotiate this corner. Can't walk and chew gum at the same time. A little windy right now. So I thought I'd do a ride and review. One, the insurance is cheaper because it's a smaller displacement motor. 2, I get like 60 miles to a gallon, and I have a 3.5 gallon tank. but I usually always try to fill up when I hit 100. Same thing in my car. Once I get to a half a tank, I fill it back up. You never know if there's gonna be a power outage or some kind of a blackout or something. Especially during the summer when it's hot and everybody's using their air conditioners. You could have like these brownouts or, you know, transformer get hot and blow, you know, all that good stuff. So always good to keep your tanks full. And I always put in the 93 in Ruby, which you should always run the high octane in a Harley. So anyways, other than the fact that it's cheaper on insurance, when I bought Ruby, she was listed as $7,500. And I had, which, you know, probably see that in that video I'm gonna post. So I had like $6,000, and you know, my wife had just passed away, and the government, I mean, the state of Connecticut cleaned out her $5,000 bank account and kept it. So I had $6,000. I didn't want them to come after me, you know, because you're considered a community. They took half of what was in our joint checking account. Thank God the house was in my name and wasn't a joint name. Otherwise, they would have made me sell the house. So anyways, enough of that. So I didn't want to have a big loan, you know, because now I'm down to like one income and everything. So I didn't want to have this big loan over my head and have to worry about paying that all the time. So I basically was going to start off with a 1200 and then upgrade, but I wanted to just get something, and I stopped riding back in the 80s, and I think that story's in there too. And I just didn't want to I didn't want to have a big loan, but I wanted a new bike, and I wanted the Harley. So when my buddy Henry took me around some places, I was gonna buy something used, but you know, they were like, what, 12, 13 years old for the $6,000 for like a 1200 Sportster and everything. I'm like, nah. I mean, that's, you know, to me, that's a lot of money to spend on something that's like 10, 13 years old and you don't know nothing about. Or, you know, what could be wrong with it? So when I found out that I could get this, and it listed for $7,500, brand new, I'm like, heck yeah, let's go for it. So I ended up taking out a loan for like $3,400, which was probably mostly interest, because Harley Financial, I did it through them. It was like 20% interest. That's crazy. You know, you don't need 20% interest. I mean, luckily I didn't have a loan too, because you know, a couple of years later, you know, like 2 years ago, I had to get a newer car, and so now I got that loan, $300 a month. So if I had that and a bike loan, oh, I would really be hurting. And the car loan, Christ, that was only 4.5%. Yeah, and you can't get any cheaper than that for interest. I mean, well, unless you bought a brand new one. Sometimes they'll give you 0%, but still, you know. But anyways, so the deal with this is it does everything I need it to do. You know, I don't know, some people could call it a bar hopper. I don't drink, so I don't go to bars. But I mean, basically, it's just like, you you know, I just jump on her, ride her back and forth to work. Like today, I ride down to this little park over here. I'll go to the smoke shop or the bank or whatever. You know, basically that's all I got her for. You know, save wear and tear on the car at the time. Let's see, this September will be the 5th year anniversary of having Ruby, and I have like just under 1,700 miles. So I know a lot of people are going to be out there saying, "Oh my God, you're not a rider, this and that." But hey, I've been riding since 1978. I bought a brand new Suzuki TS250. And back then, you know, 20 years old, me and my wife, we went everywhere on it like it was a cruiser. And then we got clipped one day. Wife didn't want to ride anymore. I sold it. And then after that, for 30 years, I just, you know, would ride somebody else's dirt bike here and there, stuff like that. And then after she passed away, it's like, nope, I'm getting a bike. I got to get out of the house. I don't want to be sitting here all day. And I started a channel. But I mean, you can't beat this. All right, so I'm going to shut you down, take you off the handlebars, and do a little walk around and maybe show some of the mods, because I'm like I said, I'm in a group of the Street 500, 750, and the 750 street rods, like 21,000 people, and I've done, you know, put little shorts and stuff on there and helped out a lot of people. And that's one of the main things I wanted to do with this channel, is just to help people out, make a decision. Do I really want to get that, or do I want to get something bigger? You know, some people, when they're starting off, you get something big, you're a little intimidated, you're not going to ride. So you get something like the 500 or the 750, they're cheaper. They don't make them new anymore. They stopped making them. So to me, that makes Ruby special now. You know, looks like she just came off the showroom, other than all the mods I did, and I'll get to that soon. So hold on, I'll be back in a minute. All right, people, so I'm just using the built-in mic right now on the GoPro itself. And, you know, anybody that does videos, you know these GoPros do what they want sometimes. All right, so here she is. So some of the mods that I did was, of course, you know, cosmetics. I changed the air filter trim to the Willie G. I also have the Willie G lug nut covers. I have the Willie G brake pedal pad and the shifter pad. And then I have these O-ring chromes from Harley. And then that's pretty much what I got from Harley. So when I first got Ruby, the mirrors came out right here, and they came up in a little bit and turned, you know. All right, well, you sit on the bike, I'm 6 feet tall. I couldn't see nothing but my shoulders, no matter how I turned them, this and that. So I thought, well, maybe I could, you know, invert them, turn them upside down. Well, you can't on these because it doesn't go all the way through. So I ended up finding these extra, I don't know if you could see that because of the sun, but I ended up just going to like the hardware store and getting these little bolts here, which I was gonna paint them black but never got to it, but to fill in the hole just in case I still want to use that. So I ended up buying these mirrors here, and if you look at them from, like, see this side over here, it's hard to see in this little screen, but they're red and black. And when I saw them, I'm like, oh, those are cool, it matches Ruby perfect. So I had to buy these separate handlebar mounts, like right here, and they come in like an 8 and 10 millimeter thread. And then the mirrors also, and then they was a 10 millimeter here, but I had, these are 8 millimeters, so they came with a little reducer adapter. So luckily that all worked out. And a lot of people, you know, ask me, hey, where'd you get those mirrors? Well, I got the mirrors and the brackets from Walmart.com. And I'm not associated with them. They should be paying me for all the stuff that I buy from them, you know, for Ruby. So then the saddlebags I got from Amazon, they're throwovers, and I got them, you know, zip tied onto the luggage rack, so they're not going to move around, and of course it's under the seat, and those are like $127, but you know, I ended up getting $100 off for them. And then of course the sissy bar and the luggage rack, I was gonna get them from Harley, but they come separate, and they're, I don't know, it was like $400 if you wanted to get them. Well, I got these from Amazon also. And then one of the things that I'm getting a lot of questions about is the seat. I ended up, now it's considered a reach seat, so it's supposed to put you an inch lower to the ground and an inch closer to the tank. Well, I don't really need any of that, but the other seat was kind of stiff, the stock one, so I saw this through CC Riders Seats, and I got it again through Amazon, because they had it there. So you know, you put in the bike, the year, the, you know, the model, the size, you know, all that good stuff, and then it'll show you, yeah, this is an exact fit for your bike, or no, this won't fit with your bike. So I mean, that was like $146. I was looking at like some Saddleman and all these other, you know, brands, which I can't think of at the moment, Mustang. I mean, they want like, you know, anywhere from like $300, $500, $600. I mean, I actually love this seat. I didn't need to get any lower or closer, but just, it's comfortable, and it's red and black. It matches Ruby perfectly. Oh my God, you know. And then one of the first things that I did was I ended up taking off the sewing machine muffler, because that's what it sounded like, and I ended up buying this Firebrand loose cannon slip-on. And at the time I was searching, you know, all these other big brands, you know, and I came across this one, and it was like $218, and I think the cheapest other one was like $285. So I ended up buying this, and I absolutely love the sound. And I have the baffle. It has a removable baffle in it, but I keep it in here because it still sounds loud and proud. So basically those are some of the mods that I did. So if anybody, you know, wants to maybe get the same thing or something similar, they'll have an idea on where to get it or what to get. But I mean, this bike is perfect for me. I mean, I don't care, you know, you get some of these big, you know, bagger people, you know, not that I got nothing against bagger people, but I mean, you go to a bike show and what do you see? Thousands of baggers. Well, Ruby's different. I pulled into, you know, a bunch of guys hanging out with bikes, and like, they're stumped. They're like, what is that? It doesn't look like an 883 because it doesn't have that peanut tank on there. You know, oh, is it like a 1200 custom, you know, because that comes with like a bigger tank? And I tell them, no, it's a 500. And they're like, what? And I tell you, I just absolutely love it. It's good for just zipping around town. They named it the Street because it's, you know, liquid cooled. So the reason was, if you're going to be riding around in the city somewhere and you're stuck in traffic and all that, it's gonna stay cool, but it's nimble. It's easy to get in and out of traffic real quick. Even if you have to jump the curb and then go down the sidewalk and turn on the next side street to get away from the traffic jam, it's no problem with this bike. I just can't say. I mean, I've been on rides with baggers, dressers, you know, and you know, we don't drive like maniacs, you know, 45, 50 on most of these back roads. You go on all these nice scenic roads and everything and get a nice, you know, nice little view of stuff that maybe usually you don't get to see. And it's just perfect. It's a perfect bike. I don't care. Like I said, I've been riding since 1978, and I could have bought anything, but you know, and would I buy another new Harley? Probably not. Mainly because of the greed. I mean, like, look at the Sportster S. Now, this has the Revolution motor, the first gen, and I'm told, and various, you know, resources say that the Revolution motor was designed by Porsche. So, I heard that numerous times, so I'm going with that. So, the next gen was the RevMax motor, you know, which, if you know the Pan America has got 150 horse. The Sportster S, the 1250, has I think 121 horsepower, and the 975 Nightster has like 89 horsepower, all from that Revolution motor, the next generation. But the thing is, you want to go buy that like Nightster. Well, the Nightster is a 975. It doesn't have the traditional, you know, Evo or Milwaukee 8, you know, potato sound. And these were made to be high revving, high output, instant power, red lines at 8,000 RPMs, just for skitting around, you know, scooting and dooting. But I mean, you could go spend 10,000 bucks basically, you know, for, well, more with, you know, all the tax and this, that, but, you know, it lists at $10,000 for the Nightster. But you know, I would probably go in to a Honda and get a Honda Fury for like 11.5, you know, 1300, regular V twin engine. The only somewhat factory made chopper that I know. It's I mean, that's a really sexy looking bike, and I mean, I love Harleys, but I just think they're being too greedy with their prices. So anyways, let me shut this down again, get back on the bike, and go home before these storms come in, and edit this and get it up on YouTube a little bit later in the day. So I'll see you guys in a little while. Alright everyone, back on the bike. I'm ready to rock and roll. So let's head home and get Ruby put away before the storms come in. I'll put a little short up. It's kind of like a little teaser or a reminder to look for this video a little bit later in the afternoon. Hopefully the mic's working okay. You never know. This mic here, you have to plug it directly into the GoPro mic adapter. You can't use that 3-ring to 2-ring because it won't work for some reason. But if I use the Purple Panda helmet, I mean mic, in my full face helmet, I have to use that adapter. Alright, let's make like the wind and ride. Let's blow, baby, blow. Make like a tree and leave. Oh, I tell you, it's nice. Probably like around, I don't know, I didn't look at the temperature, but I'd say around 76 to 80. So that's not too bad right now. Woohoo! Little rip there. That was a quick 50 miles an hour. I didn't say that though, did I? Got to get those cobwebs out once in a while. Ooh, a choo-choo train. You can't see it though. Let's turn this. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. 6th gear. So like this 50 miles an hour, 5th gear, 3,000 RPMs. And remember, this red line's at 8,000. So she's got a lot more pep in her to go, but don't need to be going crazy. Want to enjoy a ride for another day. So I think this video is gonna end up being longer than I wanted. Because I don't think people probably watch my videos for more than probably 5 minutes. I hate those cracks in the road where the tar meets. Get your front tire caught in that sometimes, especially on the roads where it's deteriorating and it's actually like a little bit of a rut. Well, today's July 3rd, so tomorrow's the 4th. Everybody just, you know, be watchful when you're out there, you know, with all this stuff going on overseas. You know, just keep an eye out for strange things. If it's 80 degrees and somebody's wearing a big long coat, well, that's not good. See a backpack sitting on the ground somewhere and nobody around, that's not good either. So be safe out there, people. Knees in the breeze, hippie Trev. Ooh, some sand right there. Oh, all right, home sweet home. Let me pop it in neutral. Shut the turn signal off. So let me see if I can turn this. Oh, it's not gonna let me turn it, darn it. Oh, there we go. Alright, so there's the ramp, I think, because I can't see nothing in this little screen. But there's the ramp that I ride up onto the porch, and then a couple guys help me. We pick Ruby up and bring her into the house. So that's another good thing with the 500. It's small enough to fit through the door. And then the bottom of the house is like gray. I mean like a tan. I don't know if you can see that. And this little screen, it's hard to tell, but all that is gonna be white. And the porch railings are blue. So there you go. All right, people, I'm home. So hope you all have the most awesome, wonderful day. Be safe, everyone. And as usual, peace and love.